Building a project like this isn't always smooth sailing. Transforming the Suzuki Eeco has thrown us a few curveballs, especially when it came to the weight and space. We had to find the perfect balance, getting it out for serious overlanding without overloading the chassis. Every millimeter mattered, especially when we moved from the old wooden setup to something more professional. But after all the trial and error, it's finally time for the big reveal. We've managed to fit a kitchen, a bedroom, and full power into this tiny footprint. You've seen the struggle. Now let's show you the solution. This is the final result for our Eeco Build. Okay guys, the Eeco is finally done. It took a little bit longer than we thought because the draw systems took a little bit longer because they were custom built for this little Eeco. But I think it's time for me to see how long it takes to get a drink in my hand. So finally this little Eeco is done, and I have to say it is drastically different from what it was. I mean, if you can remember that little bed that it had in the inside and those cupboards on the side, for me this is much more practical. But the thing is with the previous one is I think it was too heavy. I mean, when we took off that roof rack, that thing felt like a ton. Compared to this roof pod, the weight is probably pretty much similar. And they also had the 2 jerry cans on top, which was an extra 22 kilos per jerry can. They had 40 liters on top for water. That's 40 kilos. There was actually space for 2 extra ammo boxes. So I really think that at that point, this little Eeco was completely top heavy. I'm talking about at least 70 kgs that it was carrying on top of its roof. And dynamic weight is so important, and that's why we decided we're not going to keep that roof rack on. So we decided on a couple of changes. So we have got the Desert Products drawer system, we've got the DAG Kalahari 55-liter fridge, we've got the Flexopower 1200 battery box, and we've got the roof pot with this lovely awning. It comes with the table, and obviously there's also the shower cubicle. Then from Alva, we've got a lovely set of, well, cooking utensils like this little braai that we've got here in front of us. We've also got the little stove, and obviously the Alva gas geyser, which means you're going to get hot water when you want to shower, and there's no shower facilities. But you know what, guys? Let me take you through this and let me show you exactly what we have done. So when we decided to do this whole Eeco, the first thing that we thought of was refrigeration, and we decided on the DAG. This is the Kalahari 55 litre, and there's a specific reason why I decided on the DAG. I've got one myself. I've had one now for around about 5 years, and mine is a little bit smaller than this, and it's a single compartment. It's the 50 litre, but I have to say, we were camping at the island one evening and we had a hell of a thunderstorm, and that fridge was this much in the water. That's where the compressor sits, that's where all the electronics sits. And the next morning, plugged it in again, and it just didn't work, and I couldn't understand what happened. But a couple of days later, when we were back home, my daughter came and she took the connection that's got the cigarette lighter on it, plugged it in, and the fridge was working. So what happened was, the fridge didn't break. The little inverter that it gets with this fridge, that broke. Now to change that, it was about 180 bucks. So not a big cost. And the nice thing also about this is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. This specific one retails, I think, between 7,500 and 8,000 rand. And you don't want a 15,000 rand fridge in a little Eeco like this. I mean, it's just you're gonna overspend. Other thing that I like about this little DAG is the fact that you actually get an app for it. And let me show you quickly how this works. So on the app, you've got the left and the right side, and you can actually choose how warm or how cold it will. You can set each one of the compartments. So currently we've got the small compartment at its lowest. That's around about -10. And it's not pulling that much power currently. Because it's already on temperature, it kind of switch off. So the compressor is not running the whole time. So yes, when the compressor runs, you are seeing around about 60 watts per hour. But once the compressor is off, this thing barely takes any power from your battery system. And obviously, it then just regulates the temperature. But yeah, that is why we decided on the DAG. It's durable. As I said, mine has been with me for 5 years. I haven't had a day's problems with it, and it's cost effective. So when it came to power in the previous Suzuki, there wasn't really something. There was a 12-volt battery in there and a huge inverter, but nothing was charging the battery. So we decided this time the Eeco needs proper power. And we decided on the Flexopower Lithium 1200. Now, what I like about this is that, well, currently we've got it on the NAMIP 150 solar panel, and even though it's overcast at this point, we are pulling at 41 watts. A little bit earlier, we'll show you now, we were doing around about 110, 120 watts, which means that this little thing in the sunlight, even though we're running the fridge and we're actually charging our remote for our drone, would have taken about 4.5 hours to get to capacity. The main reason why I like this is that when I get home, I can actually take this out, put it next to my TV, and it will help me when we're in load shedding. But yeah, the little Flexopower 1200 comes with two USB-C ports. You've got two normal ports. You've got your input here where you can power actually or charge it from direct AC from Eskom. If you get to a campsite where you've got power. On the output side, you've got a 3-point, let me just move that. On the output side, you've got a 3-point plug, you've got a 2-point plug, you've got your cigarette lighter, you've got two little DC plug-in ports, and you've got your Brad Harris here, or your Anderson plug, or whatever you guys want to call it. Funny thing though, just check this. There's a bright light here for if you need some light at night. But yeah, what I really like about this is the fact that I can charge it with the solar panel if I don't have power. Running the fridge, it will last me about 15 hours. if it's full, and that normally will get you to where you want to go. And most of the places you're going to camp with this, you're probably going to have power. So yeah, the Lithium 1200, really like it. Flexopower, go and check them out. Okay, after we chatted to Dieter Pay at Conguini, he mentioned the one thing, and that was that there wasn't enough packing space, and that every time that he wanted to go to sleep, he had to take everything out so that he can get into his bed. So we decided, you know what, first of all, obviously we took the bed out completely, but we wanted to give packing space, as much packing space as possible. So we approached the guys from 4x4 Megawatt, and they make desert products. Now, they don't normally make custom designs, but I had to pull a couple of strings, twist a couple of arms, and finally they said, yep, they'll do it for me. So the whole thing that I had in mind was make sure that we've got enough drawers, there's enough space, and I specifically wanted, for example, for the fridge to have a cage around it so that nothing bumps into it, so you can put stuff on top of it if you need it. So the fridge slider can take up to a 90-liter fridge. That is huge. There's, I mean, you can see there's still a hell of a lot of space here. Then you've got this huge long drawer system. Currently we're using this for our camping gear, so we've got the little grid in there, got a couple of tent pegs in here, our extension cable, and our lights for when we go camping. On the other side though, on this side, we wanted sort of a kitchenette type of space. So first of all, there's another drawer here. You can have your pots and your pans in here. And then the piece that just turns. And this is my favorite drawer. This is quite a long one. As you can see, there's space for our grills, our little gas stove. This can be space for all your cutlery and everything you need. But there's more. When you pull this out, here is space for your spices, your bright tongs, all your little lappies and stuffies that you would need to actually have a good workspace when you're cooking at night. The best part, however, about this whole setup, it's all aluminium, lightweight, so we're not really overloading the little Eeco. We did repurpose a couple of things from the original build. For example, with the roof rack, we're using the rails to have the roof pod on them. For example, this water tank, and as you can see, this one had a big gaff on it. So we're still waiting for a new water tank, but this will be replaced. And then you have 40 liters inside here, clean drinking water, or if you want to put grey water in it so that you can use it for a shower. We repurposed the bracket that holds the water can, and so yeah, it is really a lot of stuff in here is still from the old one. Then obviously we've got the gas geyser here from Alva. As I said, because we do not have a proper water tank, we cannot test the geyser today, but we're going to definitely do that at a later point. Okay, so obviously the other thing that the previous Eeco definitely didn't have was a shower cubicle. Now, I know this is most probably overkill because most of the places you're going to camp with this little Eeco, there's going to be an ablution block or something. But in case there's not, we've got a shower cubicle. And obviously we've got a geyser. So warm showers in the bush if you don't have an ablution, or if the ablution is too full. Really like this. How's it, guys? There's even space for me inside this roof pod. Okay, not really. Don't try this at home. But yeah, okay, first of all, secondly, I'm too old to do it like this. Let's get up and let me tell you about the roof pod. So this one here is the Comfypod from Roofpod, and what's nice about them, they are around about 31,500 I believe is the price. And this one weighs around about, I think, 40 kilos. With the awning, with the mattress and the ladder and the shower, it's close to 50 kgs. And that is exactly what we needed for this little Eeco. You have to remember there's a difference between static load and dynamic load when you're putting something onto a roof of a vehicle. So dynamic load means when you're driving, that's shifting on top of the roof. To avoid being top heavy, you can't go over a certain weight. So with this little Eeco, it sits around about 50 kg. So this is right within that margin of where we can actually push the weight onto the little Eeco. Static, I believe this can take around about 200 kgs, and that's not bad. That is enough for 2 people to sleep on top here. And it is spacious. I'm not going to say me and my wife is going to sleep here. I think I'm too old for climbing onto rooftop tents already, but well, or married too long. I'm not sure which one, but there's an excuse there. On the other hand, young couple, there's ample space here, and it's comfy. I mean, it's not warm in here. It's soft shell. We've got a window here, we've got a window here, we've got a window in the back. Obviously, you can decide where you put your ladder. Because we've got the awning on, the ladder is on this side of us, and because we've got a boot here in the back, we can't put the ladder there, because that is where our fridge is and everything like that. For us, the Comfypod, or Roofpod's Comfypod, was just the logic way to go. Yes, there are other rooftop tents that reckon they will be lighter, but for me, it's about the look. It's about keeping the cost down of doing this build, because yes, we can go and put in 100,000 rands worth of drawers. Yes, we can go and get a 70,000 rand rooftop tent. Yes, we can get a 14 or 15,000 rand fridge. But that misses the point. Then all of a sudden your accessories is way over the price of this little Eeco actually, because this little Eeco is only around about 200,000 rand. Was it made for camping? Well, no, probably not really. But can you camp with it? Definitely. And we're going to come back here and we're going to definitely do an overnight camp in there. Then we're going to have all our goodies inside, our cutlery, pots, pans, everything sorted out. But for now, we just wanted to show you what you can do with this little Eeco. And I hope you like. Please like, share, subscribe. And thanks to Suzuki South Africa for giving us the opportunity to do this build. Cheers, guys.